late here. Today, talking about gravity. To explain to you what gravity is, we go live to the field with Jake Smarty Pants. What is gravity? Everybody thinks gravity is the force that pulls things down. But what it actually is the force that pulls things together. Like this. This is live footage of scientific experiments to show the effects of gravity. Please be aware, these are trained professionals. Do not attempt this at home. Unless you have a cat and a pencil, then feel free to. How was gravity discovered? Isaac Newton was the one who discovered gravity by an apple dropping on his head. Isaac Newton discovered gravity by an apple dropping on his head. Isaac Newton discovered gravity by an apple dropping on his head. Everybody thinks that Isaac Newton discovered it by an apple falling on his head. In reality, he discovered that there was an existing force that could change the speed or direction of a moving object. So what does that mean? To show you what that means, we came all the way to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee to show you this, our model of the universe.
Let's go.
So, right now, I'm laying on the fabric of space. Yeah, I know, it's a hammock. But the reason why we built this hammock is to show Einstein's theory of the fabric of space. So basically, what it is instead of gravity pulling stuff down, it actually pulls stuff together. We're going to show you that theory on this hammock. So in front of me is the fabric of space. Now what is the fabric of space? Well, what it is it's in space. It's an invisible field in space that is nice and flat, and when an object like a planet, like this one, goes on it, it distorts. Now that doesn't have a lot of mass, because that doesn't have a lot of mass and it doesn't distort a lot of it. But with stuff like planets, big planets like Earth, it distorts it a lot. Like, as you can see, say this is the Earth and this is the moon, and so this distorts the fabric of space, attracting the moon, pulling it into its atmosphere to make it orbit around it. Now, with planets like the sun, like this, attracts it majorly. Like this, and they're even like what it is right now. They're constantly battling it out to like get closer. Like what I'm showing right now. Now, the reason why this is attracting this ball when you'd think this ball would attract this ball a little bit, which it kind of does on here, but because this has more mass than this, so that it attracts it. And the reason why our solar system is what it is because of the sun has more mass than the other planets.
We're definitely gonna include this.
Alright, here, I'll just put this down here. So, planets like Jupiter, and in our example, Jupiter is bigger. Well, it's not really Jupiter, it's just a planet. But Jupiter is bigger than the Sun, but Jupiter also is filled with air like a regular basketball, while this is like a weight ball. Well, this has more mass than Jupiter. So now you know what gravity is, let's talk about the effect of air resistance on gravity. Here on Earth, we see the effects of gravity by objects being pulled towards the ground, or more accurately, towards the center of the Earth. But the Earth's atmosphere contains large amount of air molecules that try to get in the way. These molecules need to be pushed out of the way by the falling object as it drops. This is called air resistance. This behavior is what helps to keep airplanes in the air, slows down parachutes, and changes the speed at which objects drop to the ground on Earth. Let's say you take a kitten, a piece of paper, and an eagle to the moon and drop them at the same time.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
They'd all hit the surface at the same moment, no matter how much they weigh. The difference in mass does not change the speed at which they fall. Now let's drop those same three objects here on Earth. Which one will hit the ground first? The kitten, then the paper, then the eagle. The paper's largest surface area causes it to drop slower than the kitten. The eagle, however, is able to modify its surface area to catch the wind and therefore fly. Birds are able to use air resistance to defy the force of gravity by gliding on air currents. Suppose you took a tank and an empty cardboard box the tank came in. Which would hit the ground first? The tank and the box would hit the ground at the same time, but why? Doesn't the tank have more mass? Yes, it does. But they both have the same surface area, therefore having the same air resistance. Without the impact of air resistance on gravity, our world would be a very different place.
Apollo 13 flight controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go flight.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Ecom.
We're go flight.
GNC.
We're go.
Telmu.
Go.
Control.
Go flight.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Network.
Go.
Recovery.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go flight.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
What does it take to defy gravity? This. This is a Saturn V rocket that was used during the Apollo missions to the moon. The Saturn V rocket can hold 3 people and a payload. This amazing machine weighs a mind-blowing 6,200,000 pounds. This is what it takes to overcome gravity and get 3 people on a payload beyond low Earth orbit. Right now I'm standing under the Saturn V rocket with 5 F1 engines. Each F1 engine is over 19 feet tall and is capable of producing 1.5 million pounds of thrust, for a total thrust of 7,500,000 pounds. Just the first stage of this 363-foot tall behemoth carries over 200,000 gallons of kerosene fuel and 318,000 gallons of liquid oxygen needed for combustion in space. The only purpose of the first and second stage is to carry the upper stages outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Once in space, the third stage brings the crew module and the payload out of Earth's orbit and propels its occupants to the moon. This amazing machine is an epic example of what it takes to defy gravity and reach outside of the Earth's atmosphere.